Welcome back to another web development video where I'll show you how to make modern websites using HTML5, CSS3, and a little bit of JavaScript. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a blog category page and then to link to that in your header. So this is actually a question that was sent in from someone who had watched one of my Webflow videos, and so I'm going to show you how to do that in Webflow. So if this is something that you've been wondering about, then this is a good video for you. I'm going to start from zero, so I don't have any blog posts or anything already created, no collections. If you've already created your blog collection and you have them categorized, then you can probably skip forward quite a bit in the video. But if you haven't done that, I'll show you how to set everything up from the front end. I'm just using the free account, so I have a couple of pages that I can play with here, so I'm not going to do every single category, but I will set up multiple categories, and then you just have to set up a new page for each the categories. You'll do it the same way. So we're starting with a blank page here, and you can see there's nothing here, and we have our home page, and so let's just go ahead and add just a little bit of stuff here to the home page. So we have a container. Let's drop a heading in here. Our heading is going to say blog posts or posts, maybe all posts. That's more descriptive. And then inside of our container, we'll also we're going to put a listing of a collection, but we don't have a collection actually created yet, so we got to create one of those and create some blog posts. So just click on the blog post template, and at this point we want to also we want to add a field into our blog post. So we don't have this field yet, and we can add it in. And what I want to do is I want to have a drop down list, so that's option, and we're going to call this categories. And the first category is going to be something like news, and then I don't know, I was thinking media and miscellaneous. We'll just do just kind of a catch-all topic. So I have three different options here. And you can see here that it's a drop-down list, and so when someone clicks on this, they'll get the list of the three options. Let's go ahead and save this field and then move it up. I don't want to have to scroll all the way down to the bottom if I have to do this manually each time. That's going to be a check, so you have to choose one of those. And so we'll create our collection, and I want to put some dummy posts in there. So I'll just choose 10, and it populates for us right here. If you click on this pen, you can see the different fields that are in your database. So I'm going to choose categories so that I can see. So we have a few, looks like it's spread them out pretty evenly between media, news, and miscellaneous. So we have our categories already pre-filled. So this saves a lot of time and effort, but obviously if you have your own posts, each time you make a post, you're going to want to choose a category. So now that we have these, we can insert them into our page. So we add a collection list. And if you don't know how to do this stuff yet, you should go back. Webflow has a really great set of tutorials concerning the CMS, so you should go back and look at those. So we want to collect the blog posts. So it brings in all of our blog posts. You can see these are their names, and then now let's go ahead and I'll just make them full width for now to make it easier, and let's go ahead and drag in a few elements. First we'll have an image. We'll connect that image to the main image. So now we have all of our blog post images here, and we can bring in a heading. And I don't like it there, so I'm going to put it, I want the image first and then the heading underneath. So we need to connect our heading to our dynamic content. So we'll use the name because I think that's the blog post title. So now we have our image and our heading for each one. It's different. And then the last thing, we want to be able to get to this article, so we need to put a button of some sort. So we'll just put that right after our heading. And we want to link this to the purple one, which is a collection page. A collection page is basically like saying the individual post. So if you think about this as a post collection, and then when you click here, it goes to that actual post with all the content. So we want to choose the current blog post, which is each time it loops through and creates one of these, it has a dynamic URL for each of these posts. And so we wanted to get that URL and attach it to this button. So that's what we're using. And then let's go ahead and change the text on here. So we'll just say read article. You can see that changes the text on all of these buttons, and each of these buttons is going to go to its own individual to this post. Yep. Let's apply a little bit of styling. We're not going to do a whole lot with this, but just to separate it. Once a designer, always a designer. So I'll leave it at that. Create a little space here. And when we go to our page, we can see that we have all of our posts. If we click on here, you can see that it goes to the post that's called the History of Web Design. And we have all these different posts. Now, we didn't do anything with the actual post pages. But if we had gone through and done something with the blog post template, then it would show all of the stuff for that particular blog post. I don't want to focus too much on that because that's sort of extraneous to what we're trying to do. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to set up a second page, and this is going to be your category page. Now we're going to use only one CMS collection, and that's going to be our blog post because we already have our categories. And one of the powerful things that you can do, and I'll show you just in this section here, is when you click on your collection, you can go to the show all settings, and it'll show you all of your collection settings. So you have lots of different things that you can choose here. These are your sort of basic ones, but there are ways to filter and to sort. So you can sort all of these by different pieces of information in your database. You can do pagination. You can limit how many items are showing in this particular collection. You can pull in some other different pieces of information as well. And then you can put in some custom attributes if you want to. The one that we're going to be focused on in this video is the filters. So you can come through and you can filter by each of the different options here. So with all of our blog posts, we want obviously all of them to show, but I'll show you just how the filtering works. So if we do categories equal, let's say media, and when we save, it should only have, so now we only have 3, and so those are our 3 blog posts that have the category of media. And if we go through and we change that to the category equals news, then you can see that it's changed. Now we have these 4 posts. So we're going to do this on a separate page. So I'll show you how to do that. So let's just get around. So when we get rid of that, we show all of the posts regardless of the category. And let's go ahead and create a new page. And we're going to call that page, We're going to call that page news. So let's just go ahead and do the news category. And you can do lots of different things as far as SEO and stuff like that. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So we'll create the page, and you can see here that now we have a news page. And I'm going to set this up now because I know that's the way that I want the slug to look. The slug is the URL. So whatever.com/ and whatever the page name is. If you've done WordPress or you've done Drupal or something, you've seen how you can have a directory listing of like category or tag or authors or books or something like that, and it's in a folder. So it says whatever.com/ categories / whatever your category is, right? Or it says category / and then whatever the category is. We can actually set up that slug, and that's how I want to do it. So the URL will kind of guide people to know where they are. If they want to share it, they're sharing it knowing, okay, this is going to a category called news, right? And the way that we do that here is we create a new folder, and I'm going to call that folder category. You can use a capital if you want to, because the slug is always going to be lowercase. So you can see here it's going to look like website.com / category, and then inside that we're going to put this news page. So let's create this, and then we'll put news inside the category. The way we do that is we click the little gear icon, the settings, and then you can choose the parent folder, so you can put it inside of the category. And you can see here that it updates in real time. So we save that, and now news is inside of category. And you can trust me right now when we finally publish the site, I'll show you the URL, and you'll see that it's whatever.com / category / news, and that's the way that the slug is going to look. And that's exactly what I at least want to have happen at this point. So let's build out our news page a little bit. We're going to use basically the same setup as before. I'm going to add a heading, and this is going to say articles in news. So something like that. And then we need to add a collection list again. And we need to connect it to our blog posts. And this is where we're going to use our filtering to be able to filter out only the news stories. So you can get there by choosing this gear icon and going to show all settings, or you can go here to your collection item settings while having it selected. And you go to filters. We're going to add a filter so when the category is equal to, but you could also do other things here. So if you want to show every category except a category, you would do is not equal to. But when the category is equal to news, then that's what we're going to show here. So when we save, we can see that there's only 4 blog post listings. So we're going to have basically the same setup as before with an image. We're going to connect that image to our database, to the main image. And then we're going to add a heading. And this heading is going to go not before but after. And we'll connect the heading to our name. So that's going to have all of our blog post titles. Now you could set this up so that it actually has all of the text if you wanted to. So you would say, I believe it's rich text. So if we wanted, let's say on this page we wanted to have all of the text from the blog post showing. So we would click on the there it is. So we want to get the post body from each of the articles. So this is if you wanted all of the text from the article to show on this page. So you can see that it just sort of shows all of the text, and you can read all the blog posts here. I'm going to set it up just like we did with our home page. where on the home page we had the title of the article and then a read article button. So I want to remove this text block. That's not what I want. I just need to put a button here. And then that's going to take us to each of our individual posts. So we grab a button, put it here. We want to link to the purple. Remember, we do our collection page. And we want to link to the current blog post. And then we'll change our text to read article. Do the same thing with our basic styling here. So that was 63. That. And so now we have all of our news articles, and then we can click on the button to actually read the article itself. So let's do 45 here. Okay, so now we have two pages. We have our home page, and then we have our category of news. So let's go back and let's find out how we can link from the navigation bar directly to the news page. So we need to add a nav bar. You find that down at the very bottom. So we're just going to drag a nav bar up here like this. And then we have a few sort of predetermined links. So let's just go ahead and name this news. And we'll just do all of our, let's say we wanted to have a link to all of the categories. So news, media, and miscellaneous. So now we want to take this link and we want to link it to a particular page. We want to link it to our news page. So we click on this, and you could manually inset the URL, I guess. But what we want is to link it to a specific page. You can do an anchor link on the same page to a page section or an email or a phone or whatever, but we want to actually choose a page that's here. So you can see that we can choose the news page, which is under the folder of category. And we don't want it to open in a new window. We just want to open it in the same window. So whenever we check that out, you can see that we have our navigation up here, and when we click on news, you can see that it goes to our news page. Now our news page only has the posts with the category of news. And so if you had a page for each of these individual categories, you would simply link to that page from the home page. And now you can link to this page from anywhere. If you wanted to put a link in the footer, if you wanted to just share the link itself, and you could share it on social media. Hey, check out our news blog posts or whatever it is. Then you could go straight to that page, and every time you add a new blog post, so let's say we had four, we have these 4 news pages. Let's say we change this one to news, and we save that on the back end. And when we go to our news page, we should have 5 instead of 4. Hopefully I don't lose the internet here. Okay, sorry about that. It should be okay now, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in our news category. So you can see here, and when we go to home, you can see that it links off to our news category, and we have the 5 news stories. So every time you add a post, if you put that category on there, it's going to be added to your list. Now you can go into your settings here for your collection item, and you can decide, what the sort order that you want is. Do you want it to be in reverse alphabetical order or chronological order, or however you want to do it, so that when you add a new post, it gets tacked on to the top or the bottom or whatever sort order that you want it to be in. You could even create, you might even be able to create a button of some sort that changes the sort order. I'm not sure. But that's generally how to do this. Let me show you the URL. So let's just go ahead and publish it. And we'll look at it here live. And so you can see this is our whatever.com basically / category / news. And so we're in the news category at this point. If we just go to the home page, you can see that we have our navigation bar. We have all of our posts here, regardless of the category. And then when we click on our category, it takes us to our news category, and then it trims down the number of posts that we have only to that category is what it's showing. So that's to me, that would be the best way to be able to link to a particular category from the home page, or really from any page. That way you have more control over what's being shown and how it's being shown. You could do a page where you have sections for each category, so you have like a different collection list for each category. That would be one way to do it. Or like I have, where all posts are on one page, and then you can do a category page for each one as well. All right, if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. I'll get to them as quickly as I can. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button and the bell notification, and you'll get notified when I post new video content. Also, if you want to pay it forward, I try to provide my videos always for free. And one way that you can help is to just click the thumbs up button. Teaches the algorithm for YouTube that this is a good channel, it's quality content, and that more people should see it. So I appreciate clicking the thumbs up button. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Brian Hafferkamp if you want to connect on Twitter as well. All right, I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.